So joining us for more on this is a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. Thank you so much for being here. Congressman, what was your reaction when you saw the video of the U.S. drone coming down, and also how that all happened with that fuel that went on the drone? What did you make of this?
Well, pretty much, I wasn't surprised. The Russians no longer fear us. The Biden crime machine, they're focused on a lot of different things, and American sovereignty and our superiority in military is not one of them. They, they don't fear us. I'm sure we'll write them those nasty Russians a strong letter, and I'm sure that will bring Putin to his knees. But clearly, our enemies no longer fear us, and our friends are afraid or embarrassed by us. I mean, it's not like it was in the Trump administration. This would have never happened under that administration. Yeah, and this is clear. I doubt even Biden even knows it happened.
I think a lot of people say that a lot of things wouldn't have happened under the Trump administration. But, the administration calling this, you mentioned the letter, unprofessional. That's the way they're handling it. Chinese President Xi Jinping, he's going to visit Russia next week. So, sir, do you think that Biden's weakness on the world stage has opened the door for Russia and China relations now?
100%. If they weren't in bed together, they're in the honeymoon phase right now. China's just watching everything we do in Ukraine and watching our supply chains and everything else. And when they move on Taiwan, they'll have all their allies lined up. They're lining up people in Central America currently, where they're getting our rare earth minerals, where we're getting, for our cell phones and everything else. And we don't have the guts to do anything down there as well. Look, this is a complete catastrophe for us overall worldwide. And I think the world leaders see it, and they're scratching their head wondering what happened to the once powerful America that has let a 1800s technology balloon transverse our country. And we weren't even allowed to shoot it down until it left, our land space. So we're going to see more of this. I think this is just the start of it. I think the balloon incident just showed our gutless nature that we have in the White House now, and our military is completely compromised.
Yeah, it almost feels like things have ramped up since that spy balloon. You made a trip to the border earlier this week to get a firsthand account of the border crisis. We have some photos of you and Congressman Andy Briggs. Can you take us through what you saw there, and what do you make of this situation?
Yeah, it's just pitiful, really. It's sad. I felt sorry for the families that were coming over. Before we left, there was this nice little family that just crossed the Rio Grande, and they had a little girl. I married my wife and adopted her little girl, and she's mine now. But when I could remember when she was 4.5, and that was about the age of this little girl, and I couldn't help but just feel sorry for them as well, because they're put in this situation. If they can make from $5,000 to $6,000 in their own country, they'll stay there. They'll stay there, and they won't come over here. We've got to look at businesses. We've got to quit, because honestly, China has undermined us in Central America through their Belt and Road Initiative. They go in and lowball projects, and then they bankrupt uneducated countries, and then they own them, and they infiltrate them completely with their people. And that's how they put a stranglehold on us and all these rare earth minerals. And this is just compounding it with a White House that is in total denial. The news was that 1,000 people rushed across the bridge. They'll get 1,000 people a day where we were. And the station that we were in, the processing station, that we were told it cost $16 million a month to maintain.
Wow.
And it's not one of the major areas. So we've got some real problems on our border. Our vice president's failure to even visited our president. I don't know if he can find it on a map.
Yeah,
we're in a bad state of affairs down there.
And then you have that field hearing with the committee, and not one Democrat, sir, even went to that. Here's White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre saying the administration will secure the border. Take a listen.
Look, we're going to secure the border and do the work. You've heard from Mayorkas on this. Do the work, Secretary Mayorkas on this. Do the work to continue to do that.
All right, so the CBP reporting nearly 1 million encounters on the southern border since October 1st. You were just there. Is the administration doing the work?
Absolutely not. It's wide open, and they're overrun. Our border agents, all of them, all up and down Texas, Arizona, all that California, all those areas, They're doing great work, and they're very conscientious, kind folks, but they're put in a horrible, horrible situation. She is a walking Saturday Night Live skit. I do not know why she doesn't lead off Saturday Night Live. I don't watch the miserable show, but if they did, I don't know why they wouldn't put her on there, because she leads this, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus is calling Washington saying, hey, y'all have got all our clowns up here working for this administration. What do? We don't have any more left. Yeah. This is ridiculous. It's just a total capitulation at our border, and it's a disgrace. Yeah. Tennessee has a population around 7 million people, and we've had 2 million. Over 2 million have come over our border since Biden took office.
All right. Well, Congressman Tim Burchett, always great to have you. Have a good weekend, sir.
Y'all keep fighting. We need Newsmax on the air.
That's right.